This is the motorcycle dash cam unit that I was given by Mrs. Moz. Now, the brand name, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's the SYSTO. Did a little bit of research online. Seems to be a fairly good unit for the price. So yeah, I thought I'd just show you how I've set it up. There's the dash cam unit or recorder sitting under the rider's seat in the position I've selected. The way I've set up the power supply to it is via this cord, which is not connected at the moment, but I connect that to this. At the moment this is powering, or is powered by my battery maintainer, and this side goes to the battery, the positive and negative side of the battery. That's how I keep my battery in good order ever since I had problems with it. So, I'm going to go for a ride. I just unplug that and plug in the unit, and then there's a control aspect. The power does not come on with this straight away. It's set up so that this gets powered up when the ignition is turned on. So I'll show you how that's done, but before I do that I have to take the pillion seat off, and that's what this little tool's for, is to undo or loosen these nuts, that one and this one on this side. As part of getting the pillion seat off, I need to disconnect the power supply to the heated seat. Here is the control unit to the dash cam. Right, currently off. Power leads, they run across into there. So that's the power unit. That supplies power via this connection to the dash cam recorder, and the power to this unit comes, as I said before, via this plug, which I've plugged in. I had to make a join because I added this plug on later, so I joined it with a couple of spade connectors, positive and negative, and it supplies the power to the unit. Well, it supplies the power to this unit, but this doesn't supply power to the dash cam recorder until the ignition's on. Now I had to work out how I was going to do that, because I didn't want to cut into any wires of the bike, because this is the control wire, this little fella here. It has to come off a supply that the power comes on when the ignition's turned on. As I said, didn't want to cut into any of the wires of the bike, so I came up with this idea. So as you can see, this control wire goes into here. I'll just unplug this. This is the power supply to my top box and also to the esky, which sits on top of the pillion seat. So what I did is I ran this power controller to the positive side of this plug. the 12 volt power supply here doesn't come on until the ignition's on. So therefore, that then turns that on. So when the ignition's turned on, a little blue light lights up here which says it's sending power to the recorder. So I'll show you that. I'm going to turn the power on to the bike. So you heard that. I don't know what it says. Start recording. It starts recording, and you can see there's a blue light. So that means that's now sending power to the recorder. And it's currently recording. So if I turn that over, you can see the recording is happening. So that's how I've set up the unit. What I've got to do today, I'll just turn this off. Now I've turned the power off to the bike, but the power stays on this because the power supply comes off, the 12 volt power plug. The power stays on for a minute or about a minute, 30 seconds to 60 seconds before it actually switches off. As I mentioned in the last video, I suspect that this camera here being mounted where it is above my sat-nav system, and I suspect that it's interfering with the satellite signal, because I've only started having issues with the satellite signal since I put that on there. So now I've just got to find a new location for it. What I'm going to do, or try, this is the height, that's the highest point my screen goes up. I was thinking of moving that down to there because it still sees past the screen, and I never ride with it that high anyway. Normally it's about there, so bringing that down so it's not directly above the sat-nav may help matters. And it's not a bad spot there, it's protected by the windscreen. Yeah, I thought about putting it underneath the fairing just above the wheel, but I reckon the camera itself will cop a beating. So to get these undone, there's 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4 to get it off. It's not an Allen key, it's one of those funny, I don't know if you can see that, star keys. Don't know what you call them, but that's what it is. So yeah, and that's what's needed to take these off. So I've got the covers off the first layer, and a bit of a surprise to me because I've never had this off before, but there's 2 more screws there and there that need to come off before the windscreen can be taken off. These screws are alignment screws. They're slightly different to the others. Let's see that. And that's the other type, the other screws. That's the 4, and the 2 alignment screws. Take this off and replace it with some more M3 double-sided tape. And then yeah, set it up about here, and yeah, it should do the trick. So let's put this aside for now and do a bit of a clean-up job. Now I've got some alcohol wipes and swabs. What I'll do, just give this area here a clean with alcohol swab. That's where I'm going to glue it, or stick it rather. It's going to go there. I want to get free of any oily grip. Same on that. Okay, that's dried out. So I'll just take the backing off the 3M tape. And put it tidally across. And now it's a matter of centering it and lining it up. So now that that's centered in place, I might just rerun that cable so that it runs around this way into there, so keep it away from the top of that sat nav. And get rid of this like in the rubbish rather than leave it lying around like I used to see when I was working on a mine site. Okay, now it's time to put things back together, I suppose. Okay, well, camera is relocated. Next time I go for a ride, we'll see if it still affects the satellite signal. Okay, well, thanks for joining me on this. If you've got an RT, maybe you may have picked up an idea or so. Other than that, everyone, look after each other. Until next time, cheers.